Hi guys, so today we are going to work on our main distribution. This is probably 40 years old as it was before. Now already some changes have been done, and today we are going to renew all of these breakers and circuits so that finally the installation in the house can be finished. So let me show you what was done, how it looked before. You saw it already in the first video, and just let me explain what the plan is and how this is going to look like. So as you already know, this was kind of the setup as it was initially when we started with the renovation. So only one 3-phase RCD, before it was an old one, so it has already been replaced, and then just a couple of circuits. And this is a 3-phase circuit, and then just the house only. There's a washing machine here, and this one I didn't even find out yet. And basically all the house, all the outlets and light is on this one circuit here. This is as it is now. As you can see, this was the old practice. The electricians used individual wires, 6 square millimeters, and bridged like one phase to the first breaker, next phase to the other one, and then they went again, used the next wire and went from one to the other. And also in this case they used the neutral, went into the circuit breakers, into 2-pole circuit breakers. This is not practice like that anymore, and it's also probably not by code today anymore, because in today's code you actually shall avoid to use 2 wires in one terminal. Okay, so there have been electricians here already who have installed the heating in the basement. There is also a heat pump installed there, so they have put another load center in the basement. So they have added the main distribution terminals here. So the meter is coming in here, and then from here it's going to the RCD, and here it's going to the next load center there in the basement where they have fuses, etc. And my job today is to renew all the circuits here. And as you can already see, we have to use by code, because these all will be the new breakers. There's already quite a lot of circuits, then we have to use 2 RCDs for the setup already. This, as I said, double pole breakers, this way of wiring, no more good practice. New way is go to the RCD, and then we only have the 1-pole breakers here for the phases, and the neutral will then go to another neutral bar, similar like here, the ground bar, and they will all come together there. So no more switching of the neutral actually. Okay, I will show you here on the down. So this is, instead of using wires going from one to the next, we have now the 3-phase bus bars. So this is all, as you can see here, the 3 first ones is the RCD, and then the bus bar is changing the phases L2, L3, L1, etc. And this will be our neutral terminals, where we will connect all the neutral wires to it coming from the RCD there. What else do we need? We have 10 square millimeter stranded wires here. We have to crimp the ends. Very long ones here. They are for these main terminals on the up there, and the shorter ones I used, which I have here, I used then for the RCD and breakers, etc. Okay, so this is all what we need, and I will now remove all these old breakers here and set them up with my new breakers. There will be 6 16 amp and 2 13 amp for each of the RCD groups. So 1 RCD and 8 circuit breakers. Okay, let's start with this and I will then show you how this is turning out. Yeah, the power is removed from the load center, of course, and yeah, I can now disassemble all this old setup there. Yeah, I have here even a broken terminal, so you see I completely unscrewed it and I can pull this out. So yeah, there's always something I find here in the old installation which was already quite a danger. You see these neutral terminals on this breaker, it's not even meant to have more than one wire inserted, and they have just squeezed this here in and actually broken this terminal here. Yeah, all these wires here, which were our bus bars before, will now be just replaced by this modern product here. So here I have a flexible multi-stranded wire. So on these ones we have to use our cream lugs here, so that this is kept together, otherwise we cannot put it into a terminal. Just twist it a little bit. And just crimp it. Okay, and this can be used now perfectly. These are of course fairly small wires. Later on we have to crimp the 10mm square main wires too, and those will be probably hard to crimp. Now we have our next problem. This is now that one circuit which I told you, all the old house actually is almost everything running on this one, and they have 2 gray. So which one now is phase and which one is neutral? So we have to use the correct order, because you don't want a phase being at a lamp, right? When you have like lights, you always should have neutral at the lamp and phase on the switch. So what I'm going to do now is I will connect actually one wire to the grounding bar, and then I will go to a switch inside and see if we have continuity between the incoming wire and the ground. As you know, our dangerous chandelier. So if I check now via the earth and neutral, we have continuity. So I checked all the other variants also, and yeah, I only have the beep this way, so I know now that I found the correct neutral wire. Right, so the first group is finished. So as you can see, our bus bar is connecting all the breakers, and from the neutral we have the main cable to a neutral bus bar. This one is a very small one, because we will actually only need 4 of them, because this is a 3-phase and this one as well, so they only have 1 neutral each. That's why only a very small bus bar. Okay, so I'm now going to do the second group. So this one is again producing our light here is on. So this one, you see everything just on one single breaker, and the old house has all its power back. Right, I will continue to connect the rest of this and make the second group, and then the job will be already done. So the second RCD will then be connected here on the main terminals, So yeah. Okay, darkness fell on me, but finally we are done. So the second RCD is also connected now to the main terminals there, and yeah, there is here a 3-phase 30 amp really high power temporary setup here, because the construction, the company needs it for their heavy machinery. So yeah, this is just a temporary outlet for the 3-phase, and yeah, this will be then exchanged with some other breakers when they are done, when everything is final. Okay, so you see all the neutrals have their own neutral bar, so each RCD, and yeah, phases, everything connected. Of course, usually electricians try to make this as nice as possible, but in an old house like this, where all the cables are just coming out of somewhere, it's quite a little bit difficult to also work beautifully. At the end, the covers will be coming on top and everything will look quite nice. Okay, it may be that there will be some surge protection for the overvoltage installed by the other electrician still, and then this panel will get its final inspection, and then the owner can just activate all of this. So next we will then do the installation of all the plugs and switches, make the final connections inside the rooms, and my part will be then finished. Yes, and today is the next day. As you can see, in the meantime, our pipes, conduits, everything disappeared. So the construction company had put some subfloor. This is actually a mixture of styrofoam and cement over all of this, and it's insulating. And on this one there will be then the floor heating, and then comes the final concrete floor on top of this. So what we are doing today is we have to install all our outlets, switches, dimmers, all this sort of stuff, and these are the frames, and we will also put some temporary light fixtures so that there can be some light here. All of this will come into our prepared points here, and then we also make connections of the circuits here in our junction boxes inside the wall. So in Austria this looks like this, or better, let's say this is the German Schuko system. You have the inner part, this one comes into the wall cup there, as we made here, right? So you can see this will come inside here, and then finally you have a frame and the protective part here, and then this is finished. So for the frames I went with combinations up to 3, because I think 3 is already well enough. It will be a full day worth of jobs. It will take some time. I also have to find out which cable goes where, so there is nothing marked there, but it's easy to do. I will just connect like 2 wires here and then find out which one of those is shorted out, and then I know which one is the circuit. All the other things I just remembered how I installed it, so it's no problem at all. So this one floor we cannot step on, that's why we have these big styrofoam pieces laying around here to walk on it. Let's start with some, and then I will show you from time to time how the progress is on this. Yeah, for the connections we are using the so-called Wago push-in connectors, so we can choose up to 5 wires which are connected at once in such a connector. There's nothing to screw, all just push in. If there are some stranded wires, we can use something like this with the lever here, push in the wire and close. About 70 outlets, then another probably 30 different pieces, switches, momentary switches, dimmers, etc. And yeah, the frames. There's one very important thing to mention about this sort of stuff. You know, when you put this into your place here, you can use either screws or these also have some sort of claws here. But those claws are actually very, very dangerous, and they are the cause of many failures in an electrical installation. Because these claws, if you are not careful, you see they have quite sharp teeth, they can actually hurt your wire badly if you don't look exactly, and the wire comes in between this here and the plastic of your cup. And the problem with this is, if you hit a hot wire, a phase, there's no connection of this frame with any other inner part here. So not even with the PE wiring which is coming in. So if you hit a hot phase, this frame will be hot when it sits there in the wall. So it can also be extremely dangerous. So what we are going to do, we don't need these claws, we will just remove them, because the screws are well enough holding this sort of stuff in place there. So I'm just taking this completely out. See, just removing the screw, and then that claw can be removed. So, and like this, nothing can happen to your wiring. And it's absolutely not needed, as I said. So now we are going to cut the wires to lengths. So it's about 10 centimeters of wire is enough. Strip off the insulation. So I take this to the up. We have PE in the middle, phase and neutral. This is all now plugged in nicely. Push this down, press it in, and take our 2 screws. Okay, then we take a level and finally fix it. Okay, put the frame and the protector on it, and middle screw. And our first outlet is done. Our first combination of 3 devices, 2 momentary switches and the dimmer. So this will be for the main lights in this big room here. Okay, today we are also going to install some temporary light fixtures, so light should then later on work, and we can then also try the dimming and all this stuff. And it is pitch dark again. Yeah, like here in the kitchen, This side is finished. There's also one of the later will be kitchen lights. I kind of finished half of the circuits. Probably around 40 points are done. And yeah, another day and probably a half. And this will be then all finished. Sleeping room already have a light as well. And all this switching here, which I showed you last time in the wiring, is already working. We have a dimmer here, so I can do this later on. We had to extra find now normal light bulbs, old style, because they are dimmable. Here will be all light fixtures, LED, dimmable LED light fixtures later on. Okay, so it was long enough for today. Tomorrow morning, early morning, I will start again and hopefully finish the rest. Today is actually day 3 of final installation, and yesterday I was a little bit in the way because the installation guys, they put the floor heating in. Okay, but I nevertheless continued with my job, and yeah, it's finished. It's now morning of the 3rd day and all is done. The plastering guy will have to go over the walls again, but yeah, my final junction box is also done. So yeah, this is how it looks like. Quite a lot inside, of course, because here everything is coming in and going out. And we also have 2 relays here, which are for the momentary switches. For the big rooms, have many points to switch on and off. All is checked and works. So this is our momentary, and of course, as everywhere, we have dimmers, because there will be LED lights, LED fixtures, dimmable. I didn't check this one. Oh, here we also have light already. Nice. Okay, yeah, this is how it looks like finished. Okay, and that shall be it already. So the other guys will have still a lot of things to do, and once everything is plastered and the painting is done, then whenever they get the light fixtures, they can put those. And for me the job is done. So yeah, was a lot to do here in this old house, but once everything is finished, it will then of course look nice. But as you see, full renovation, this house will be like a brand new one. Okay, so thank you for watching these episodes. I will be already on the way to Thailand soon, and next time I probably see you when I'm there. So thank you very much. Please comment, subscribe, like the video, and I'll see you next time.